Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. My name is Marie Crawford, owner of Session Boutique. Class is always in session. Sorry, guys. I just am super excited because I have an amazing guest in the studio with me today on all things beauty, and we have the music playing to usher her in, guys. This will be a wonderful, wonderful segment. So make sure that you tune in, share with your friends, and it's going to be a really good time here today at All Things Beauty. Here in the studio, I know you hear the music playing. Somebody loves you, baby. We have with us today the wonderful, beautiful, guys. This is my sister. I love her so much. The amazing, talented Benita, owner of A Unique Heart, Love in a Box, here in the studio with us today. Benita. Welcome.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
Yes. So we're so excited to have you here. So go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, let me just say thank you for the opportunity. I am just overwhelmed with gratitude. So first, I want to say thank you. So I am Benita Ledet, and I am the creator and owner of A Unique Heart.
Yes.
And the reasons why it is called A Unique Heart is because I have a unique heart for people.
Yes.
And I know that, around the world, there's a lot of traumatic things going on with everyone, but women in particular, we seem to take on more of the stresses more than anybody else. And so I wanted a way to figure out how can I help heal women. So I started thinking of all these things that women need. And my partner and I, we got together and we just thought about everything that they need. And we said, okay, let's just wrap it up and put it in a box.
There you go.
And so that's how Love in a Box was created.
Nice. I love that. We have Benita in the studio today, guys. You should feel the love. Let me tell you something about this amazing, amazing woman. She is a little shy right now. She's going to warm up a little later here for sure. So if you're tuned in, make sure you go ahead and grab, your tea or whatever it is you're sipping on, because this is going to be an amazing segment. I met Benita in Trinidad and Tobago, the amazing Jay of the Women's Earth. We had a women's retreat in Trinidad and Tobago, and we all stood in the middle. See, look, she's about to get started. We all stood in the middle of the ocean together and held hands. And from that, what was said was, I can do anything. I can do anything. And so here we are here today in this space, sharing space once again with one another. And my beautiful sister has just cultivated this amazing, a unique heart, love in a box concept. The idea of it is just, to me, unheard of, because the energy that you can feel every time you open the box, every time you grab the things that are inside the box, what she's going to speak to, definitely resonates. So we're just so thankful to have you in the studio today, Miss Benita. She is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to dive into just a couple of questions here. We're going to let the spirit just kind of guide us on through here. So I know you told us a little bit about yourself. So what made you decide to launch Love in a Box?
Well, when you listen to people like Oprah and Steve Harvey and all these type of celebrities, and my senior pastor, Dr. Arisha, and all of these people that I'm around that are positive, they always say, you were here for a purpose.
Yes.
And whatever your purpose is what you should be doing. And that can be like the ministry outside of church. Okay, so that's kind of where this came from, because I graduated from Hilliard Vocational Bible Studies last year and from the SURE program.
Yes.
So I say, why not put the two together?
There you go.
If I put the two together, this is how I can create something that's never been seen, never been heard, and that I can also do something that will create my talents and gifts. Absolutely. My talents and gifts is love.
I love that.
I love love.
Yes.
Anything I do has love in it.
Yes.
So I said, why not put this all together and give it to others?
Yeah.
And this is the way how I started journaling about it, started writing down ideas, and this is really how it was birthed. I had a friend a couple of years ago. We were very close, and she was going through a rough time in her life. And, I told her, I was like, I'm not going to let you give up. And I just stayed on her for like 2 years, 2.5 years. And I'm like, you can't give up. You got too much inside of you. And so from there, and another friend I had that was going through a domestic violence situation, I was like, you know what? God, how can I help these women? How am I always around someone who's hurting? How do I help them? Like, it just resonated to my heart. Like, what can I do? And so one day she and I was talking, and she said, well, you need to create an email or something and just start start working with it. I said, okay. So from out of nowhere, I guess the Holy Spirit just put it in my mind. I had created the email years ago.
Wow.
So the email was uniqueheart@yahoo.com years ago. Years ago.
Right.
And then as I went through the biblical studies and the SURE program, that's how the rest of it began. Because then I met a young lady named Sharice of Total Woman, and she started to mentor me and like just pull all these talents and gifts out. She told me, just do a brain dump of everything you want to do. So I began to write it down, and we went back and forth, and oh my God, that was the process. I wanted to give up. She wouldn't let me. And, we went forward, and then she was like, okay, well, after you're done with this, I'm going to introduce you to my business partner, which is John Nichols, and he's also now my business partner.
Okay.
And he is the brains behind A Unique Heart. So he put his brains together. I put my heart together. She connected us, and that's how all of this got started.
It's the Trinity. Look at that. Look at God.
Yes.
And it's so important. And I want you all to make sure that you take from this experience, from this conversation, being obedient to the calling.
Yes.
Because had you not said yes, had you not said, okay, God, I know the gift that is within me, and been obedient and listened to it, we would not be in this space right now. So we thank you for that.
Yes.
Because a lot of times our gifts that we have, they sit dormant.
Absolutely.
Because of fear, because we may share it with someone else and they may discourage us.
Yes.
And so thank you for being obedient to hearing his voice and moving forward with what you have here now, because A Unique Heart is so different, it's so profound, it's so beautiful. And I love how you packaged it, because I love love. And I know with so many things that are going on in society today, love is so important, guys. It is so important to love on one another.
Yes, it
and
is.
so this is a very important time.
Yes, it
to
is.
even introduce this. And again, I remember we talked before, and you said it's not even necessarily the box. It's the what? Tell us what it is. What's the impact that you are hoping that this makes?
Well, the impact that I'm hoping that this box makes, that it changes the world one box, one heart at a time, only because, like, for instance, we started with women. And the reason why we started with women is because women, we are the carriers of our babies
Speak to us.
in our womb.
Yes.
So whatever we're going through at the time when we are pregnant with our babies, they can feel it. So if you're going through a bitter marriage or a domestic violence situation, like whatever emotions you're carrying while you're pregnant, that's what you're feeding your baby.
Absolutely.
So some children grow up not even knowing why they are like they are, but it was because of the traumatizing situations their mother went through. So it carries from generation to generation until somebody figures out this is a generational curse. So I said, okay, and we're going to have more products come out later, but we wanted to start with the women only because we know they are the ones who's carrying the babies. And we're like, okay, if we can touch them, and begin to heal their heart,
Right.
then they can pass it on to their children and their children. And this is how we change the world. One box, one heart, one woman, one baby, one generation at a
I love
time.
that. I love that. I love that. I mean, just the ripple effect.
Yes.
Talk about tossing a pebble into the water
Yes.
and watching the ripple continuously flow out and abound
Yes.
and impacting everything within it.
Yes.
And I just love the fact that love is such an important thing because, yes, women are hurting.
Yes.
Women need to heal. And men, too.
And
We're
men,
not going to
too.
discard the
Men, too.
men.
Yes.
We are all in a space to where we all need to heal. And we all need to be obedient to it. And not only obedient to it, we need to be consistent in the healing.
Yes.
And so I think that, I know that I call it a ministry.
Yes.
Because that's what we're called to do.
Right.
And I think it's a wonderful thing that you have this collection.
Yes.
And not only you have a collection, but what's inside the box, guys, is what's is also so impactful. So share with us a little bit about, I see you brought your journal here. Share with us a little bit about the purpose behind the self-love journal that you have.
Okay, so here's what I want everyone to know.
Show them what it looks like. It's beautiful, guys. Look at
I
this.
don't know, can y'all see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So you get the self-love journal inside of the Love in a Box.
Right.
Yeah.
It comes with every box. Every box that you purchase. If you purchase this one alone, it's $20. But if you purchase it with the box, you get way more for $39.50. But the journal is so powerful because in the box we give you a step-by-step guide on how to use it and when to use it, and then we give you tips. Also in the journal, we ask you every day, how are you feeling? Because every day is not going to be a good day.
Girl, speak to us.
If you own up to how you're feeling, that will guide you back to bring you back to the present moment. Because if you stay in the present, then you face your situation head on. And then you begin to journal about it. But the importance of the journal is we all forget about to love on ourselves. We do for everybody else. We put everybody else in front of us and we put ourselves on the back burner.
Yes.
But with this journal, what makes it so different from everything else is there is 3 sections on here that we focused on. We focused on self-love, self-worth, and self-actualization.
I love that.
And because I focused on those 3 things, that's how this product is in front of us. See, I worked on me first.
Okay, go on.
You gotta
go on, break it back and bring it back a little bit for the people in the back.
Yes, you got to work on your own self first.
Yes.
I'm the young lady that didn't have any confidence, who was shy, timid, didn't think that I could do it. Didn't think I had enough help around me to make it happen. And once I began to do the work and put the work in myself, this is how this baby began to be birthed.
I love that. I love that. The inner work first is so important. I think a lot of times we choose to skip that step.
Correct.
Because it's so easy to blame others.
Yes.
It's so easy to allow a substance or a situation to consume us and us say, well, that's the reason why I can't grow. But when you do the inner work,
Right.
when you put the time in and start really evaluating who you are and where you are at that point in time and own it, because there is no law of assertion. There's only law of attraction.
Correct.
And so when you really, really deep dive into that whole mindset of self-love and self-care and self-transformation, and I don't care how many times we talk about it, I don't care how much people get tired of it, it is a daily activity.
Yes, it is.
That we have to constantly do.
That's
and I
right.
know us as women, we wear a lot of hats.
A lot.
I mean, a lot of hats. And so it's important, why? That we go to our box, we go to that point of reference to pull back, especially the journal.
Right.
So that way we can go back to, okay, this is what I overcame, and this is what I was
Yes.
experiencing. And I think that is
Absolutely.
so amazing.
Yes, it is. And it's tools that you can use for a lifetime.
Yes.
Most time people give people flowers, give them a card. Well, everybody know what happens to flowers.
Yes.
They die.
Yeah.
They're more expensive.
They are.
And the cards, you just be like, oh, this is so cute. And it's like instant gratification.
Yeah.
But the box is not instant gratification. It's priceless. It's something you can use. And like you said, you can go back to it over and over again. You can pass it down to your kids.
Yes.
I have one of my brothers is journaling right now. He got a journal from the lunch the event, the lunch event Saturday. He's all into it.
See?
But I just want to bring out like 2 key things.
Sure.
And this is kind of what we're talking about right now. On page 93, it says, it's not what you are holding back. It's what you think you are not.
I love that.
So
say it one more time, just in case y'all didn't catch that, because that was powerful, guys.
Yeah. So page 93, it says, it's not what you are holding back. It's what you think you are not. So whatever you think about yourself is the situation you're in right now. But when you begin to value yourself and love on yourself and know your worth, anything is possible.
Anything is. I can do anything.
We can do anything.
Anything.
We stood in the middle of the sea, the middle of the ocean. We can do anything.
We can do anything. And I think that is so important as a reminder constantly, right? Because social media will have you thinking that, oh, you got to look this certain type of way. You got to drive the certain type of car. You got to, fit into this box in order for you to feel affirmed or in order for you to feel of worth.
Absolutely.
And it's time to change that.
It is.
Because, God created us to be the way that we are and gifted us with the gifts that we have solely for us. What's my number one thing that I always like, what's for me won't miss me.
That's right.
What's for me won't miss me.
That's right.
And so you have to lead with that what's for me won't miss me mentality, because, God's love is it's just so amazing. And even the energy here with you today, and we're going to speak to your launch recently, a few days ago, we're going to pull up your website so people can also see how they can, learn a little bit more about a unique heart. And so they can also experience it and order it as well. But share with us. I was there, guys. But I'm going to let her talk about it first. But I will tell you this, there is so much love. I don't care what there is no lack, there's no shortage of love at all. There was so much love in the building for Benita, and it was just overwhelming. Tell me how you were feeling, like how, I know you had family coming in. Walk us through that experience.
Okay, so the day of, when I woke up, at first it felt like deja vu. It felt like this has happened before, and like I'm just showing up to it because I've dreamed about it so many times. And the very first thing I knew I had to do was go and get my makeup done. I knew that I had
that's
to get
important
that out
now,
the way.
ladies. We gotta get our makeup done.
Yeah, and so as I was getting ready and my driver came to pick me up, when I put on my outfit and I walked out to the SUV, I said, I'm going to my event. You know how normally you get dressed
for somebody else?
For somebody else's event? I said, I'm going to my event.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and this was like, okay, this is real. Like it kind of felt like a dream a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the thing that I'm most proud of is I told my business partner, John, and Dwight, who was my decorator and designer, and I told everybody what I wanted. I told Masadi, she was the event coordinator. I said, when I get there, I just want to show up.
There you go.
I said, I don't want to do nothing else. I just want to show up. So when I walked in that door, I was like a kid in a candy store. It was like Christmas.
Yeah.
It was like magical. It was everything that I dreamed of and more. It exceeded my expectations.
Absolutely.
When I walked through that door, I just felt love. And the space was still empty. But as people began to show up, I could feel more love enter into the room. Wow. And the more I watched everybody like mix and mingle and socialize and eat and listen to the band, and I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. I mean, it was like perfect. And I never used the word perfect, but that day,
it was perfect.
It was perfect.
I love that. And I know that, guys, if you're tuning in, thank you so much if you're commenting, thank you for the comments. Thank you for tuning in and sharing. We have Benita, owner of A Unique Heart, loving the box in the building at All Things Beauty today, and she is sharing in her experience regarding her recent launch. And I will tell you, I was there, I witnessed it, the love was just phenomenal, but we all know that there's a journey up to that point.
Yes.
How many times did you want to quit? How many times did you want to give in? Because a lot of times what we as entrepreneurs, we don't see is the ugly part. We don't talk about the ugly part. Yes. And so for those who are inspiring to start their own business or having troubles hearing God clearly because you're allowing fear to intervene.
Right.
Tell us how you got past fear. How did you overcome the obstacles? Because I know they were there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you one key thing, and I have to give a shout out to Jay, the Woman's Earth. I really do. Jay is very inspiring.
Yes.
When she put all the tribe sisters together and we went on that trip in Tobago, when we went in the middle of the ocean and we all prayed and we said we could do anything, at that time, I was having a health challenge. But I told God, if you let me make it to Tobago and you let me get healed, I'm going to pursue this passion and I'm going to push for my purpose. And so when we left the trip, I still was having a health challenge. And just for people that don't know me, I'm going to tell this story everywhere I go because people need to hear this. I had a medical condition to where I didn't even know what was wrong with me. Right. The doctors couldn't tell me anything. Like for 6 to 8 months, I couldn't even drive. I Ubered everywhere I went. I Ubered from, the tab was somewhere around between $6,000 to $8,000 from 6 to 8 months. I couldn't go to work. I was weak. I couldn't drive. I was dizzy. And so I kept going and kept going. And all those times I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. But then that was the flesh side. Right. But then the spiritual side said, no, there's some more fighting you. And if you get past this, there's something bigger and better on the other side of this, on the other side of this journey. So as I began to get better, I found a doctor and she helped me get to where I needed to be. And so I called John up and I said, John, I'm ready. There you go. I said, I've put the money down on the venue. I'm moving forward. John said, this is all I've been wanting to hear. He was like, okay, what we need to do. And then that's how we got back on track. That's how we got back on track. And that's how everything happened.
And that's how you're here now.
Yeah, but at one time I wanted to give up so many times.
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
did. It was really rough. But I thank God that I didn't because when you experience the love that we experienced Saturday, I'm so glad I didn't.
I'm getting chill bumps right now just thinking about it because Benita definitely shared her story, and just even hearing it again, it inspires me because I am an entrepreneur and I also work full time. And there are so many times that I have wanted to give up completely. And so it inspires me to even hear the story of what you were experiencing because I didn't know all the details, but it just inspires me because you never know what someone is going through. So whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you are experiencing out in the atmosphere, never give up. Right. I mean, Benita is here as a witness. I am here as a witness, and others as well. Right. You have to move forward because the gift is within you. God gave it to you for a reason. So you have to definitely move forward in that gift so that way you can definitely share the love that we all need. Because if you would have said no, we would not be here. We would not have a unique heart.
That's right.
We would not have a love in a box. We wouldn't have this experience that everyone needs. Because let me tell you what resonates with me the most is going back to a place of happiness when you know that you're in a place of down.
Exactly.
And being reminded, reminding yourself or affirming to yourself the love, the dedication. And I know that's what helped you to guide you through. Like, I've put so much work and so much energy, and God said, and you began to speak back and said, God, you said this and you said that. And God said, I did, and I will fulfill my word. But you have to go forward. And so.
And let me just tell y'all, I want to say this too. I have to get this out. I have to give a shout out to my husband as well. Because when you are married to a man that has learned the word and know how to use the word.
There you go.
It was times that, like, if he couldn't go to church, I had to Uber to church. But when we went together, we would go down to that altar and he would pray over me. He would tell God, Lord, God, I know that you are a healer, and I know that you can heal my wife. We know that this is just an attack of the enemy so that she can't fulfill her promise. He said, but God, if you get her well, I know my wife. I know she will pursue this passion. I know her heart is to help people. That's all she do anyway. So I'm a giver and I'm a helper. That's all I do. So I just turned it into a business because this is my purpose. This is what I like to do. Like, I can do this 24/7, helping people, encouraging them, inspiring them, because it's all a part of love.
Absolutely.
And then, the world is full of so much hate right now. We got the situation with El Paso where all these women did, or women, men, parents, They just went into Walmart to go and shop for their kids, thinking that they were going to go to school. And then their life got turned upside down because someone decided they wanted to be mean and hateful and shoot up the place.
Yeah.
So when I think about things like that, I'm like, no, we need more love.
We do.
Somebody got to stand in the gap and give more love. And I just feel like God has called me to be that person, because this is very genuine and this is very dear to my heart. And I just feel like anyone who receives the box and receives the resources in it and really do the work for the journal, they will see the difference in themselves, their family, their children, everything.
Absolutely.
It will bless their entire life.
I totally agree. And, this is another way of giving back to the community, or if you know someone who is affected by the recent activities that just happened with the mass shootings. I know right now they may be in a place of loss.
Absolutely.
And so how would Love in a Box benefit those who are in a place of loss?
So I was thinking about them, and I know, for the people that have just experienced a traumatic experience, they're probably saying, I don't want no love in the box. That ain't bringing back my child. I get all of that. I get it. Because I've been around, my best friend lost her child. My cousin lost her child. My grandmother lost my father. So I've been around hurt and pain. Yes, that where they've lost their children. And like I said again, it gravitated to my heart. Like, how do I help them? Because you can't bring back the children. You can't. But what you can do is like love on them and give them compassion and help encourage them, try to find their way back to love. Because in the beginning, when it all hurts, you're bitter, you're angry. Why me? All of these emotions. But eventually, I feel like when they finally sit down and say, well, let me see what this looks like. If, say, for instance, you sent this to someone. And they finally sit down and say, well, let me see what this love in the box
is about.
Yeah. And then they start journaling and start getting those feelings out. It will help them.
Absolutely.
It will help them a little bit at a time until they can really just
pull themselves
together.
Back to love. Because love is the center of it all. And so if you are wanting to give, wanting to share the love, definitely grab a Love in a Box at Unique Heart. The information will be posted as well, because again, like we just said, it may not be right now, but eventually they will need a place to go to, because not everyone likes to talk about their feelings and emotions to everyone.
That's right.
And not everyone feels safe to talk about how they are feeling. So the fact that you have the journal and you have other things in a box as well that you have inside of it as well that resonate. There's a necklace heart. I bought 2 boxes and I gifted them to my daughters, and they love them tremendously. They love the necklaces. It reminds them of love. And so to be reminded of love constantly, to me, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so I'm just excited for you. I'm excited to have you in this space, and I just want you to share with everyone how they can order, how you can get in contact with Benita to make sure that if you want to, when you order your boxes, that you make sure that you support my sister here. Okay,
so the boxes are available at www.aunique.com. A uniqueheart.com. You can reach me on Facebook either by my name, Benita Ledet, or A Unique Heart. On Instagram is _ A Unique Heart. I'm on all social media platforms. But if you look me up, Benita, Benita, Ledet, Ledet, or www.auniqueheart.com, then you can go in and see all of the testimonies. Like if you even click like on the picture when you first pull it up, there'll be a video there, a trailer showing women talking about the experience that they went through, and then you'll see a message from the owner, which is myself. Nice. As far as the journals, if you want just the journals and you want to purchase them by themselves, they're available alone, and also the journals can be purchased through Amazon as well.
Nice. Nice. I love it. I love it. So make sure that you order your box, A Unique Heart. Benita, we love you. We love you. We love you. We're excited that you are here in this space sharing it with us today. And at All Things Beauty, before we end, we always like to do a Tip Tuesday.
Okay.
So what tip or quote or word of advice would you like to share with the audience before we leave today?
The tip or the quote that I would like to share is love always wins. No matter what, I don't care how much it hurt. I don't care how long you've been going through a situation. If you can find your way back to love, the love is what will begin to heal your heart.
I love that.
Because your heart is the center of all your emotions. When your heart is hurting, you cannot make clear decisions. So as you begin to heal your heart, you can make better decisions for your life.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And I love you. And my Tip Tuesday that I'm going to piggyback off of, Benita, is somebody loves you, baby.
Yes. You know.
Somebody loves you regardless.
Yes.
Somebody loves you.
Regardless. Yeah.
Somebody loves you. So thank you so much for everyone who has commented, shared, liked All Things Beauty. Make sure that you support my sister here. You are beautiful, wonderful. I am so proud of you just to be in your presence and to know your story and to know how God is using you, because love is such a beautiful thing.
Yes,
I
it
love
is.
love. I
Yes.
love how it feels. I love how it resonates. And so I am in that space. That is where I am in.
Yes.
Because it was unfamiliar to me before, but now that I found it again, I will
Yes.
never, ever, ever let it go.
That's right.
So thank you so much for sharing your gift with us today. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure that you check back with us again next Tuesday at All Things Beauty, 6:30 p.m. My name is Marie Crawford, owner of Session Boutique, where class is always in, and we shall see you all next week. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.